Welcome second years in your another grammar item class where you have to study about punctuations. If you remember, in the previous class we have completed the punctuation, you can see the tree diagram I have drawn to show it to you, types of punctuations. There in the previous class we have discussed about the end punctuations. Now these are the internal punctuations. Let us start our class with the varieties of the internal punctuations. Don't get confused, just only try to understand it, revise it once again and again, so you will get it very easily. First is semicolon, colon, semicolon. Semi means half, okay, semicolon. So semicolon actually makes a longer pause. In that you can find it out, one dot and a comma, dot and a comma. It makes a longer pause. If you remember, with the comma means we can keep a comma, small pause. With the dot, full stop will completely stop. When these two combine together, it is semicolon, which has a longer, shorter than a full stop, longer than a comma. Okay. So here full stop plus comma, togetherly they are making one more punctuation, and that is known as semicolon. And this semicolon is a pause which is shorter than a full stop. That means you should not take a long pause. Then longer than a comma, a little bit longer than a comma. Now for example, first we will go ahead with the uses, then we will continue the explanation of the examples. To separate main clauses not joined by conjunctions. Conjunctions, you know very well, they are the, you can say, interlinking words which join the two sentences. When we are not using conjunctions, then when two main clauses are getting separated and the conjunction is not being used, then we have to use the semicolon. He came, semicolon, he saw, semicolon, he conquered. If we are using conjunction, he came, saw and conquered, and is the conjunction here. But here we are not using. So when we are separating main clauses, because itself it is a main clause, he came, main clause, he saw, main clause, he conquered, main clause. This type of main clauses would be used to assert, or you can say stress on the importance of the sentence. So here is that he came, semicolon, he saw, semicolon, he conquered, full stop. So it is used to separate the main clauses when conjunctions are not used. Now next is, the second use is to separate parts of a sentence which have many commas. To separate a part of a sentence which have many commas, like here our cricket team consists of Rajesh from Telangana. That means we are not saying our cricket team consists of Rajesh, Ravi, Sunil, etc., etc. We are telling that he is from which place also we have to mention, so to make sure that we are actually representing the whole country. The states of the whole country. So our cricket team consists of Rajesh from Telangana. Then here a better pause, you can say a longer pause than comma. So we have to put the semicolon to make sure that the other person understood. Where is Rajesh from? Rajesh is from Telangana. Take a break. Then next sentence. Ravi from Jaipur. We have to take the pause in such a way that the other person, the one who is listening to you, should understand the meaning of the sentence. Then Sunil from Goa. Okay, so it is not only we are talking about Rajesh, Ravi and Sunil, we are talking about their places as well. That's why we are putting semicolons in between. Next use is after certain connectives. When in a sentence we have certain connectives, we use that semicolon. For example, first is he committed that mistake. That is for sure. Okay, this is the surety that the person has done a mistake. He committed that mistake. However, connectivity. To continue the sentence, we are connecting it. However, he did not do it intentionally. Unintentionally, the mistake has been done. Okay. So, in that way, what we are referring here, he committed that mistake, we are sure about that. So, we are taking a pause. He committed that mistake. However, he did not do it intentionally. So, here when we are using the connective, this is the connective. When we are using the connective, before the connective, we have to go for that particular semicolon. Now, next is colon. Colon and colon dash. Two dots are known as the colon. Here we are using semicolon, one dot. Here two dots. Semi, half I said. Here we are using both, yani two dots. So that means it is colon. And the next is colon with a dash. Colon and a dash. Whenever you write down any side headings or something in your notes, you means like you frequently use this one, putting two dots and a dash. You got habit of that. Now get a name for that. Colon and dash. Colon dash. With the colons it is a dash. So at a time explaining both. Both of them are used to introduce a list of items. Both of them are used for the introduction of the list of items. The first is like example, I bought following vegetables. Okay. Now the names of the vegetables. Tomato, potato, brinjal, lady's finger, bitter gourd, whatever it is, capsicums. So I bought following vegetables, then colon dash, to make sure the list starts from here. Okay. The timetable is as follows, colon. Here colon with a dash and here colon. The list of the things which we are taking for picnic. The list of the things. Normally when we go to somewhere out of station or either on the picnic or 2-3 days, if suppose you have to spend out of your city, you make first of all a list of the things, then put the colon dash, the list. Places to visit, colons, which places you want to visit. This normally we use in our daily life, but we don't realize at that time that we are using this. When we read, we had a feeling, so many things are there in the grammar. It's nothing like that. We use, if you check it out, what the examples I have given it to you. Even going for a picnic with a school or college, anywhere you use the list. Then at the last moment when you packed up all the things and when you are ready to leave, just when you packed, you checked out the list. Whether have I packed everything or not. If anybody at home is going to abroad or anywhere, the list is supposed to be made to remember us the things whatever we are supposed to take, and to remind us to check. We check and we recheck all the times whether we have taken all the things or not. And 90% times it happens that parents or mother especially give the responsibility to the children to write down the list. She will dictate and you would have to write it down. And if suppose you are organizing one function, in a function, how many members of, or you can say how many guests would come up, the list would be made. The list would be made with these two. Not only the list of the guests, but the menu, the dishes, which dishes you have to arrange for that. All we use, check it out, you have used this one, you have got a habit of writing this. but maybe you didn't realize. Now we'll have to give them a name as colon and colon dash. Okay, I hope you have understood these two. Now we'll have to move for the next one, that is normally one of the favorite you can say punctuation for the students, commas. It is a slight pause. When we have a long sentence and we cannot complete the sentence within a single breath, we have to take the pauses, and that pauses could be known as your commas. Sometimes, like, he is going to school, this is also a sentence, but it's a very short sentence. When you have a long sentence, then you have to use the commas. He is clever, comma, honest, brave and humble. All the adjectives. Okay. He is clever, honest, brave and humble. So here we are using for clever, for honest, and when we are using a conjunction, we are not supposed to put any of the comma or semicolon. Like here we have read out, when we are not using conjunctions. When we are using conjunction, we are not supposed to put any type of the punctuations. Okay. Now that is your comma, which is very easy to understand, and you have used and you are using it and you know it very well how to use. Next is the quotation marks or the inverted commas. Both are 90% times similar, but sometimes there is a difference between that. Like you know what, like you can say commas being used upside at the start and at the end of the sentence to make sure or to make the other person realize that this is a sentence said by so and so. Okay. So here is that one is in the direct speech. I am going to market, she said. This is the direct speech. So you have to use the nowadays the symbol of inverted commas being used by hands also, gestures. So it is being used for the direct speech. Next is before articles, titles of books, before the names of articles, any of the articles. If you want to emphasize, if you want to give importance to, stress onto that particular thing, then you put the inverted commas into that. And sometimes these inverted commas can come in 2 commas or 1 comma. You can use any, either 2 here or 1 here. Next is that titles of books, obviously, that Jawaharlal Nehru wrote The Discovery of India. So Jawaharlal Nehru wrote, inverted commas, The Discovery of India, to make the person realize or show the importance that this book is written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, that's why we are keeping the name of the book in the inverted commas. To mark others' words, Newton's third law of motion. Okay, Newton's third law of motion, according to Newton. Now, according to Newton, colons, then inverted commas stands. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Inverted commas close. Here it means that whatever you have in science, in commerce, in civics, in your mathematics, stats and all, everywhere, in economics, everywhere you have either the sayings of the other persons or that to be like for the definition of the given by the scientist. So when we are using the exact words of the person who has given that, then it is known as the quotation. Quoting the words, exact words of the person. We are not involving our own words. We are not putting our own words into that. We are using the exact quotations, whatever the person has said to us. That is the, to mark the other words, we use the quotations. Next is ellipsis. Ellipsis, 3 dots. Some people use 3 dots, some use more dots. They go on. So why do we use after a break in a speech? First is after a break in speech. The next is, like if you are taking a break in the speech, then you have to use this one. The next is alternative to etc. When we know there is a lot of things to say, and we don't want to end it up by saying etc, etc, etc. So what we have to do is that we have to, after writing 2-3 things, we can put the dots, only 2-3 dots, to make it sure that okay, that is the ellipsis, and the people would understand that it continued. You must have seen that somewhere written to be continued, then dots. Obviously to be continued, that means it is not the end. Full stop is the single stop, single dot, which shows the end. Ellipsis shows the continuation. 3 dots. Okay. This is the same what I said. After a break in a speech, and make a longer pause. A long pause. To think. I hope you have listened the speeches. And you hate the speeches. It's a fact. The students never like the speeches. And that too, if lengthy speeches means you are rigid no for this. You never like the long speeches. And sometimes it happens that during any functions and all, I have seen many places, because it is a formal way of conducting the functions that we have to organize few speeches. But like you remember your Children's Day to Republic Day to Independence Day, normally the students would wait for the cultural programs to start or any patriotic songs to start. But before the time, they have to swallow hard the speeches in every language given by many people. Not only the students, the VIPs, those who would be on the stage, they would also give speeches. The chief guest, the guest of honor, everybody gave the speeches. And by the end of the speeches, the students normally get tired. Am I right? Yes. So here in the speeches, and you know that after looking into the matter written, that time also when any person give the speech, they take a certain break into that in order to sometime think any other example to be added at that moment, or maybe they give the time to the audience to understand whatever being spoken by the speaker. Okay, so if continuous you are listening the speech, and that too without a break, you cannot understand. Few of the words will go from the head, it will not go inside the head. So here, after a break in the speech, like the continuation would be there, but you have to take a break for that. It's not only talking about the standing on the dais and giving the speeches. Any of the speech, like speaking, during the spoken part, if you are taking a break and a longer break, we can put the dots over there to represent that. Next, alternative to etc. I said make a longer pause. These 3 are understood. Now when the quotation is omitted. If the quotation is omitted, that means when the inverted commas being removed, then they have written only half part of the sentence, then it could continue. And it should not be in the direct speech. Direct speech means we have to use obviously the quotations. So this is whole about your internal punctuations. Keep it in mind that it is in the textbook on page number 27 and page number 21 in study material. Very nice exercises being given to complete, to practice it out. If you understand once carefully, read once carefully, then you can understand and then you can practice it. And after practicing, you can get a confidence that you can perform the same in your examination. And one more thing I would like to say to intermediate girls, senior intermediate, that this is not going to leave at this moment. It is a compulsory question. punctuation is a compulsory question in your syllabus and in the examination, and this continue even in your degree classes. So just don't skip this, try to understand and get into your mind. In the next class, we'll try to complete the whole end of the punctuations, that apostrophe, then you have hyphen, and like already I have given you into that, like first end, internal and the other punctuation. So we'll try to complete the other part in the next class. By the time, take care, have a nice day.